After 72 grueling hours of non-stop work on a vital update for Tesla's self-driving car system, software engineer Zach Harding collapsed at his desk, unaware that the company's CEO would soon catch him asleep on the job. That fateful Thursday morning, the overworked Zach had pushed himself to the brink, surviving on energy drinks and sheer determination to perfect the vehicle's emergency detection system. Despite warnings from friends that he was on a collision course with burnout, no one could have predicted what would unfold when Elon Musk rounded the corner during an unscheduled office visit. As the notorious workaholic CEO loomed over the sleeping Zach, the entire office held its breath, certain they were about to witness the end of his career. Instead, Elon's next move left the team speechless and reshaped Tesla's future forever. Unbeknownst to anyone, Elon's shocking response was rooted in a deeply personal tragedy from his past, a secret he had never shared with anyone at the company. Zach's bloodshot eyes were fixed on his computer screen, the clock on the wall reading 2:18 a.m. Time had lost all meaning 3, or was it 4, days ago, he couldn't recall anymore. Just a few more lines, he muttered under his breath, his fingers racing across the keyboard. At this hour, Tesla's office was nearly deserted, save for a handful of other engineers, each lost in their own realm of code and caffeine. The cleaning crew had come and gone, carefully navigating around the dedicated workers who refused to leave. Zach reached for his energy drink, only to find the can empty, joining the growing pile cluttering his desk. Nearby sat 3 granola bar wrappers and an untouched apple, placed there by his team lead, Maya, the day before, or perhaps the day before that. "How's it going?" a weary voice asked. Zach looked up to see Darius Williams, his closest friend at Tesla, standing over his desk. Despite the late hour, Darius's shirt remained neatly pressed, though his eyes were as red as Zach's. "Almost there," Zach replied, rubbing his face. "The self-driving update is fighting me at every turn, but I think I've pinned down the bug causing the simulation crashes." Darius nodded, sinking into a chair beside Zach's desk. "The deadline isn't budging. Musk wants this version ready for testing by the end of the week, doesn't he?" "Of course he does," Zach sighed. "That's why I haven't seen my apartment, except to shower and change, for the past 3 weeks." The pressure was relentless. Their team had been tasked with resolving critical flaws in Tesla's autonomous driving software, and the deadline had seemed unachievable from the start. But at Tesla, the impossible was just another Tuesday. Zach had joined the company 8 months earlier, thrilled to be part of a revolutionary mission. Now, he wondered if revolutions always demanded such sacrifices. "You should head home. Get some real sleep," Darius urged, concern evident in his tone. "You look like you're about to pass out." "I can't," Zach replied, eyes back on his screen. "Every time I close my eyes, I see code. If I'm seeing it anyway, I might as well make it count." The truth was, Zach was terrified to stop. His part of the project was critical, it involved the car's ability to detect and respond to emergency vehicles. Lives literally depended on his code functioning flawlessly, a responsibility that kept him glued to his chair even as his body screamed for rest. A notification popped up on his screen. Maya was awake too, messaging him at this hour, "Progress on the build? Need to update leadership by 8 a.m. Zach typed back, "Close. Found an issue with emergency vehicle recognition. Testing the fix now." 3 dots appeared as Maya responded. The task was nearly complete. "But please, get some rest after this," Maya urged in her message. "You've been here for days, there when I leave, there when I arrive." Zach didn't reply. Both knew he wouldn't leave until the issue was resolved. Rising from his chair, Zach felt his legs numb from hours of sitting. He shuffled to the break room, seeking another energy drink. The fridge hummed in the stillness as he opened its door, only one can remain. He grabbed it. The cold aluminum chilling his palm. Returning to his desk, he glanced out the window at Tesla's Fremont factory complex. Even at this hour, lights glowed in numerous buildings. Tesla never truly rested. Beyond the glass, factory workers assembled cars, engineers tested batteries, and designers refined future models. Somewhere out there, Elon Musk was likely working too. The CEO's legendary work ethic set the tone for the entire company. Stories circulated of him sleeping on the factory floor during production crises. How could anyone complain about long hours when the boss never stopped? Zach sank back into his chair and cracked open the energy drink. The sweet, tangy liquid hit his tongue, and he waited for the caffeine to kick in. His vision blurred momentarily before sharpening again. "You look awful," Darius remarked, still lingering nearby. "Thanks," Zach replied dryly. "Just what every guy wants to hear." "I'm serious, man. When's the last time you slept in a bed?" Zach shrugged. "Saturday, I think. I got 4 hours, then came back." "It's Thursday," Darius pointed out. The days had blurred into one exhausting haze. Zach couldn't even recall his last proper meal. Coffee and energy drinks didn't count. He turned back to his screen, resuming his typing. Lines of code swam before his eyes, but he forced himself to focus. Just a few more functions to test, and he could submit his part of the update. By 4 a.m., early risers began trickling into the office. Fresh faces and clean clothes gradually filled the space, making Zach feel increasingly out of place in his crumpled shirt, worn for who knows how long. By 7 a.m., the office buzzed with activity. Maya stopped by his desk, coffee in hand. "Are you done?" she asked, her voice a mix of hope and concern. Zach nodded, eyes glued to his screen. "Running final tests now. It's working across all simulations." "Good," she said, placing a hand on his shoulder. "Team meeting at 10. You'll present your findings, then go home." "That's an order." "Yes, boss," Zach muttered, knowing he'd likely ignore the directive. As the morning progressed, Zach's body grew heavier. His eyelids felt weighed down by invisible anchors. The energy drink had worn off, and no amount of coffee helped. But he was so close, just a few more minutes, a few more tests, a few more lines of code. The meeting loomed. He needed to prepare his notes, explain the fix, and share the test results. So much to do, so little time. The pressure was immense, yet the solution was within reach, almost tangible. Zach didn't notice his head beginning to droop. He didn't feel his forehead meet the keyboard. He didn't hear the concerned whispers of his colleagues. For the first time in weeks, Zach Harding fell asleep. His body slumped forward, head resting awkwardly on the keyboard. A string of random letters appeared on the screen as his cheek pressed against the keys. His breathing deepened almost instantly. "Zach," Darius noticed first, gently shaking his friend's shoulder. "Hey, Zach. Meeting's in 20 minutes. Zach didn't stir. His body had finally shut down after 72 hours with almost no sleep. "I think he's completely out," Darius said, glancing at Maya, who had approached the desk. Maya frowned, checking her watch. "The team presentation starts soon. We need him awake." She shook Zach more firmly. "Zach, wake up." A small crowd began to gather around Zach's desk. Some engineers looked worried, while others couldn't suppress smiles. "Poor guy finally crashed," said Lily Chen, another software engineer. "I'm surprised he lasted this long," added Rajiv Patel from the testing team. "I watched him code for 3 straight days, he's been running on pure willpower." Maya tried again to rouse Zach, but he remained in a deep sleep, his body refusing to respond after weeks of exhaustion. The keyboard left an imprint on his cheek. "Let him sleep 5 more minutes," Darius suggested. "Then we can try splashing water on his face before the meeting." "Fine," Maya agreed reluctantly, "but someone needs to be ready to present for him if he can't pull it together." As the small crowd dispersed, Raj pulled out his phone and snapped a quick photo of Zach. "For posterity," he said with a grin. Within minutes, the image was circulating in office group chats. Everyone was talking about the guy who'd finally crashed. The photo showed Zach slumped over his keyboard, surrounded by empty energy drink cans, his disheveled hair sticking out at odd angles. Maya returned 5 minutes later with a bottle of cold water. "Time's up," she announced, shaking Zach firmly once more. "Nothing. Maybe we should call someone from medical," Lily suggested. "This isn't normal sleep. His body's completely shut down." "No need," Maya said quickly. "He's just exhausted, like the rest of us." She didn't want to draw attention to how hard she'd been pushing the team. They tried everything, shaking him harder, calling his name, even waving fresh coffee under his nose. Zach remained unresponsive, his body demanding the rest it had been denied for too long. 10 minutes until the meeting, Darius warned, checking his phone. "Engineering directors will be there." Maya's face tightened with worry. "Darius, can you present Zach's part? You know the emergency vehicle recognition code, right?" "I can try," Darius replied, his voice lacking confidence. "But Zach made some big breakthroughs last night that I haven't seen." Just then, Zach's computer emitted a loud beep as the final test simulation completed successfully. A clear green message flashed on the screen, all test scenarios passed. "At least he finished before he crashed," Maya said with relief. "Pull his test results and notes. We'll have to manage without him." As the meeting time neared, the office grew busier. More people noticed Zach's unusual situation, some laughed, others looked on with sympathy. Many knew they could be next. "The photos everywhere," Lily whispered to Darius, showing him her phone. The original image had been edited with captions like, "Tesla sleep mode, activated," and, "when your battery finally dies." "Delete that," Darius said firmly. "It's not funny." "Too late," Lily replied. "It's already in the company-wide chat." The office atmosphere shifted abruptly. People straightened up, conversations hushed, and eyes darted toward the main entrance. Maya, who had been reviewing Zach's notes with Darius, looked up to see what caused the change. "What's happening?" she asked. "Leadership," someone whispered. An unexpected inspection was underway. Maya's eyes widened in alarm. "Who's here?" she demanded. Lily quickly checked the company's alert system on her phone, her face draining of color. "It's Musk. Elon's making an unscheduled visit to the software division." Maya's voice rose with panic. Of all days. She hurried back to Zach's desk, where he remained in a deep slumber, oblivious to the chaos unfolding around him. "Zach, wake up," she hissed desperately, shaking him harder. "Elon Musk is coming." But Zach didn't stir. For the first time in weeks, he was finally getting proper rest, and not even the approaching footsteps of the CEO could rouse him. The office atmosphere shifted instantly. Engineers who had been slouched in their chairs sat up straight. Screens displaying social media were swiftly replaced with code and data. Empty coffee cups vanished into drawers. Everyone snapped to attention, everyone except Zach. Maya glanced around in desperation. "Darius, help me move him to the break room," she whispered urgently. Before they could act, a voice cut through the office hum. "I want to see the progress on the emergency vehicle detection system." The voice was unmistakable, slightly accented, direct, and carrying the weight of authority that could only belong to Elon Musk. He was already in the department, just around the corner from Zach's workstation, speaking with a senior engineering director. "That's Zach's project," Darius whispered, his face paling. Maya swiftly draped her jacket over Zach's slumped shoulders, as if it could somehow conceal the sleeping engineer. "Stall them," she hissed to Darius. "I'll try to wake him again." Darius nodded and rushed toward the voices, smoothing his shirt as he went. Maya turned back to Zach, shaking him vigorously. "Zach, please, wake up," she pleaded in a frantic whisper. The rest of the team scattered to their desks, pretending to work while stealing glances at the unfolding drama. Lily positioned herself to block the view of Zach's desk from the main aisle, typing furiously while keeping an eye on the entrance. She muttered aloud, the emergency vehicle detection system is showing promising results. They could hear the engineering director speaking. We've achieved a 98.7% recognition rate across various weather and lighting conditions. Show me, Elon replied. I want to see the actual code and test results. Maya lightly slapped Zach's cheeks, then harder. His head merely lolled to the side, the keyboard's imprint now etched on his left cheek. She looked up in panic as the voices grew louder. Mr. Musk, perhaps we should start with an overview of the architecture, Darius suggested, his voice echoing down the hall. The implementation details are quite technical. I'm an engineer, Elon shot back firmly. I can handle technical details. Through the glass partition, Maya could see them, Elon Musk, dressed in a simple black Tesla t-shirt and dark jeans, flanked by 3 executives in more formal attire. The engineering director looked nervous, while Darius spoke quickly, gesturing toward a conference room in the opposite direction. Of course, sir, the director replied. But the team lead on this project is preparing for a meeting. Perhaps we could, I don't need a rehearsed presentation, Elon interrupted. I want to see the work in progress. Where's the engineer handling vehicle recognition? Maya's heart sank. There was no escaping this. She stood up just as the group rounded the corner, coming into view of their work area. Her last desperate attempt to wake Zach had failed. The group paused at the entrance to the workspace. Elon's gaze swept the room, assessing the scene with the rapid evaluation he was known for. His eyes landed on Maya, who stood awkwardly beside the slumped figure partially covered by a jacket. Are you the team lead? He asked directly. Maya swallowed hard. Yes, Mr. Musk. I'm Maya Patel. Good. Show me what you've achieved with emergency vehicle recognition. Maya took a deep breath. Of course. But I should note that our team has been working around the clock to meet deadlines. Some of us haven't slept in days. Elon nodded, his expression unchanged. Sometimes that's what it takes. The work matters. Lives depend on it. Yes, sir, Maya replied. That's why Zach has been here day and night. As if on cue, Zach let out a soft snore. The jacket slipped slightly, revealing more of his sleeping form. The executives exchanged uneasy glances. Elon's gaze shifted to the slumped figure. Is that him? The engineer working on emergency vehicle recognition? There was no point in hiding it anymore. Maya nodded, pulling the jacket away to reveal Zach in all his unconscious glory, head on the keyboard, a line of drool connecting his mouth to the spacebar, hair sticking out in every direction, surrounded by a fortress of empty energy drink cans. The office fell completely silent. Everyone held their breath, bracing for an explosion. Elon Musk was renowned for his relentless work ethic and high expectations. Stories had spread of employees being fired on the spot for far less than falling asleep at their desks. Elon stepped closer to Zach's desk, surveying the scene. His face remained impassive as he examined the code still visible on Zach's screen, alongside the successful test results. How long has he been like this? He asked quietly. About 30 minutes, Darius replied. We've tried waking him, but he's completely out. He's been working 3 days straight, sir. Elon leaned in closer, studying Zach with an intensity that made everyone uneasy. Then, to the shock of everyone in the room, he pulled up a chair and sat beside the sleeping engineer. The silence was so profound that the hum of the overhead air conditioning became audible. The executives trailing Elon exchanged wide-eyed looks, unsure how to react. Maya stood frozen, fearing any movement might break the strange spell that had fallen over their CEO. How long has he been on this project? Elon asked, his voice surprisingly soft. Maya cleared her throat. 3 weeks, sir, but the last 72 hours have been non-stop. Elon sat in silence. His gaze fixed on Zach's computer screen. He reached out, scrolling through the code with care, ensuring he didn't disturb the sleeping engineer. His eyes darted across the screen, absorbing the intricate algorithms Zach had crafted. Impressive work, he remarked after a moment. A very elegant solution to the light refraction issue. Darius blinked in surprise. Light refraction had been one of the biggest hurdles for the emergency vehicle detection system. Figuring out how to identify flashing beacons under varying weather conditions and angles had consumed Zach. "Thank you, sir," Maya replied. Zach was determined to get it right. He kept saying lives depended on it. He was correct, Elon said, still scrolling through the code. "That's exactly what's at stake." A tall executive in a striking blue suit stepped forward. "Mr. Musk, we should continue the tour. The production meeting starts in 20 minutes. Elon didn't look up. "Reschedule it." The executive's mouth opened and closed like a fish. "Sir." "Reschedule the meeting," Elon repeated, his focus still on Zach's work. "This is more interesting." The executive stepped back, frantically tapping on his phone. The other two in suits shifted uncomfortably, exchanging uneasy glances. By now, this concludes our narrative journey. I trust you found this gripping saga of intrigue, cutting-edge innovation, and astonishing discoveries captivating. From where are you tuning in today? I'm curious to learn which corner of the globe this tale has touched. If this escapade held your interest, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for a steady stream of compelling, mind-expanding stories just like this one. Fresh material is posted frequently, ensuring you're always in the loop for the newest spellbinding adventures. Be sure to pass this video along to your loved ones and friends. It's a great way to share positivity and insight while expanding our circle of story enthusiasts. Your encouragement is invaluable. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to welcoming you back for the next tale.